All right. If you will, go ahead and get your phones out. You got your phones out. If you're already alive, you can stay live. But if you don't, I need you to get your phone out. Turn it into that nice position because we're getting ready to take your afternoon selfie. All right. So all my Speaking Right family, that's my new family, my MTM tribe. Lakeisha taught us how to take an official selfie. So like there's a specific way you're supposed to take this selfie. You got to hold your phone correctly. So we're getting ready to take a selfie. All right?
And make sure the lighting is accurate so that it captures the essence of who you are. Take that selfie. All right, you got that selfie? Great. Now, step number 2. Now that you have your selfie, what I want you to do next is I want you to go ahead and send that selfie to yourself. So we're going to text ourselves the selfie that you took of yourself, and we're going to text it to your number. Hopefully you know what your number is. And before you hit the send button, I need you to type these things as you get ready to send it. I want you to type this right here. Because of what I've been through. So I want you to take that selfie, look at that picture, send it not to your neighbor or not to somebody else, but send it to yourself, and I need you to type this message, because of what I've been through. I don't know about you, but this stage that I'm standing on today was granted to me all because of what I've been through. It wasn't granted because of my goodness. It wasn't granted because of my ability. It was granted because of all that I've been through. So many times in our lives, we like to showcase the shiny and we like to hide the reality. Social media has even made it easier for us to do it with all of these filters. We have the ability to look like somebody else, and it ain't even really ourselves. All because we have these filters. Now, I had a master's degree in hiding, and I had a PhD in lying. I'm just going to tell you. Now, I knew how to hide, and I knew how to lie. I mean, I was real good at it. I mean, just like I said, PhD in lying. All the way to the point that what people thought of me actually wasn't even the reality. All because I knew how to hide and I knew how to lie. See, the H in hide it's your history. Each and every one of us has a history, something that we've been through, something that we go through. My history comes from a military family. I relate to my man from Italy, right? Italy. Yes, he came all the way here from Italy, from the Air Force. That was my family. We traveled every 2.5 years. We moved location to location. And what that did for me is it taught me not to connect to people because I always knew that I was getting ready to be leaving the very thing that I was going to connect. So in order for people to connect with me, I had to show you my shiny because you really wouldn't want to deal with my reality. So the Air Force taught me this, and unfortunately that syndrome called hiding continued to stay with me. So I then all of a sudden started to magnify my charisma, but I neglected my character. Now my topic today, I chose to go a whole different way. We got plenty of people that are going to tell you about the success. I love Johnny Wimber when he said he doesn't speak to people and teach you or want to pull you into wanting to be successful. You need to have that on your own. But today I kind of wanted to talk to you from a whole different side. And I titled today, Don't Diss the Miss. See, we oftentimes have these mistakes that we make. But I come to the reality, it's the mistakes that actually make me, me. It's not what you see now in the nice suit, in the shirts, in the things that we have. It's not in that selfie picture that you took. It's actually in that other picture that you don't want to showcase. There seems to be something missing now when we talk about success, is that we oftentimes have a gap in the story, that we don't tell people about the gory part. We only tell them about the glory places. We only tell them about the dream, because the dream is the very thing that we know they like to hear. But we don't want to talk to them about the process, that what we have to go through in order for this dream to become a reality. See, today I'm just happy because I found myself again after going through all of these mistakes. And it just did me such joy sitting in the room and listening to Audra Richardson, one of the clients of Assist You to Win, as she was in that room and killed it today. It brought me joy to see Johnny Mack sitting here today, and he's putting together a course that helps you to take what's in your belly and put it on the pages of a book. That brings me great joy. It brings me joy when LaTanya was here, and she has this calling all Queens, and she's been selling out these events here in the city, then headed to Atlanta. That brings me joy. It brings me joy to know that we can impact and touch people's lives. But I got to tell you something. It wasn't always that way. One of the first mistakes I made in life is I complained to the Creator about the creation. I struggled when I looked into the mirror and saw me, and I didn't love me. Dark-skinned boy, gap in his mouth, last name with butts. That's a bad combination for the first day of school. I look into the mirror, didn't like my skin color. Looked at my teeth, didn't like the gap. Not the Jordan River, the Nile River. That thing was wide. And ultimately hated me, so I learned to be like a turtle. And the turtle has this syndrome that it has a hard exterior, but it's actually sensitive on the interior. So here I am, sensitive on the interior, but nobody knows it because of the exterior. The success that people saw through my sports and through all of the things that I was doing, that's what people saw, but they did not know that I did not love me. Did not like the skin I was in, but they only kept seeing the success, and I became addicted to the applause, so I learned how to perform, and I just wasn't me. So I knew how to, in a sense, do a top that story. Y'all know what a top that story is? That's that story that after you hear the story, you're going to go ahead and add something to the story because you need to make sure everybody claps about you because of that, what you were getting ready to say. That was me. I struggled in that place because I was complaining to the Creator that you must have made a mistake when you made me, because if you would have knew what you were doing, you would have made me like this person. And I struggled at that place. And that was the place that life continued to have the dichotomy, where I knew that there was more for me inside of me, but did not know how to get it out of me because I didn't love me. See, we oftentimes find ourselves going through this place, if we're honest with ourselves, that there's something about you that ultimately you don't like. And if you put a name to it, it becomes your excuse or your reason, your justification of why you don't have to play big. It becomes the very thing that we use to tell people, if I was like this other person, then life would be good to me. But I'm not. Have you ever had that time where you had to talk to you and didn't like what you were having to say back to you? Yeah. But then when you got back to work, you had to do that selfie picture when you got there and you had to smile. Oh, yes, it's good. But you know it's not good. Aching on the inside, wanting to call it quits, but ultimately you keep going on. That was just one of my mistakes. Mistake number 2. I focused so much on my charisma that I neglected my character, and I came to a crash. High school student, basketball basketball scholarship opportunities all over. I denied those because I felt in my heart at the time I was called to go to the nation to tell them about Jesus. And tell them about how he loves you. Tell them about that God is good. Tell them about that his mercy endureth forever. That's what I felt. So my charisma got me on stages that my character was declining, and ultimately it causes you to crash. So what happens when the preacher steps into the strip club? Well, let me tell you what happened when this preacher stepped into the strip club. Happened to be that the first stripper I saw was a stripper that was in my youth ministry years ago. I walk in, I look up, I said no, turn, and Carl Lewis was gone, baby. I was running out, but unfortunately, once you've been snuffed out, you about to be told out. Man, life got crazy now. Stripper decides to tell on preacher. Preacher working for church. Preacher's now unemployed from church. What do you do when all you know to do is talk on a microphone? Now you're unemployed. Because stripper tells on preacher. So men, sometimes we don't get away like all the ladies like to say. Because one thing came on me and I'm now unemployed. Mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is that I thought that I could build my own life outside of the connection of the source. Whatever source your source is, I thought I could build mine. Unfortunately, my building caused me to go further than I wanted to go, stay longer than I wanted to stay, and Jesus knows, paid more than I was willing to pay. It just kept going and going and going and going. I'm just talking about me right now. I get it. You sit there right there. If I had a bowling ball, I'd start bowling. Because I'm coming down your alley in just a second. Be a 10 pin. It's sometimes hard to hit it, but I know how. Here we go. And these mistakes lead you into a place that I want to call today a pit. Please say pit. Pit. Unfortunately, pits are supposed to be pit stops, not permanent places. Every time I found myself in the pit, I had an opportunity for life to become pitiful, or it could be beautiful. So here I am in the pit. But how many of you know every time you take a pit stop, you're supposed to pick something up, fill your car up, do something that you need to do, use the bathroom, release, right? Get back in the car and carry on. But if you're not careful, you'll get stuck in a pit and you'll become pitiful. And now you hear pitiful through your mouth and you hear pitiful through your mind. And in order for you to have a mindset, you better have a mind shift first. See, when you get caught up in a pit, you need a mind shift. You got to shift your mind from the stinking thinking, because if you have a mindset based on the pit, you'll get stuck in the pit. So here I am in the pit. And I'm asking myself while I'm in this pit, what you gonna do now? So I brought something here because y'all know this is the illustrator. That's me. So these are symbolic of a seed. I believe lots of them are green bean seeds. And even though they're not green, it's okay. If you don't activate, you will frustrate. Write that down. You're at a conference right now that there's been aha moments throughout this day that if you do not activate what you are hearing and learning, it's going to frustrate. Because the word that is coming to you is a word of responsibility now that it's reached you. And when it's not activated, you will become frustrated and you'll never reach what you could have been. Seed. Inside of the seed carries all that it's ever going to be inside of this one seed. Once the seed is planted, it now has the opportunity to grow up. I'm looking at seeds today that some of us have decided that life, the way it is, has now entered a period. And I don't want to go any further. I'm not going to do anymore. But you got to be able to turn your period into a comma and then ask yourself a big boy question, a big girl question, and that is, which side of the comma do you want to live on? See, commas are the setup of a conjunction that separates where you've been and where you're going. Destiny from history. And you can't let your history affect your identity to the place that you don't believe in your destiny anymore. Because once your identity is impacted and affected, what happens is you start to lower the expectation that you have over your life. Anybody ever lowered your goals? Lowered your dreams? Lowered your expectations? Lowered what you think you could do? Lowered it? Well, we lower it because of our mistakes. But the seed's still there. So I gave each one of you a bag. It's a bag of dirt. Now Johnny, he tells this story. I love it. I was listening to his podcast the other day, and he was telling, hey, I didn't do what I did when I was younger because I just wanted to do what I did. I just wanted to do it because I needed to get out of what I was in. And I had the flip side of the story. I wanted to do what he did. Because I just was like, I had a nice life. It was comfortable. It was all this stuff. I needed some hood in me. So I wanted to do it. Right? I wanted to do it so bad, Johnny. Like these little bags, these are like, man, I wish I sold these bags. You know what I'm saying? Right? I wanted to do that. So I was a senior in high school. So I went to Martin High School, a little bougie school, right? A couple of black people in there, a lot of other people in there, a little bit of money back then. You know, I went to this little bougie school. So I used to sell beer. You know, again, I get it, you don't drink beer, you know what I mean? Okay, but that's what they drink. So on Friday nights at Jack in the Box, they wanted beer. So I used to pack the car with beer, come to the Jack in the Box, sell beer. But I really wanted to sell weed. Just felt that I could get away with it just a little bit better if I just sold beer. So I was selling beer out of my car. But man, one day, I had my whole car packed. I had to cut the grass. Man, I cut my grass. And back then, we had to bag the grass, right? So we had to bag the grass. And all the grass was in the back of my trunk. I had a 1983 Bonneville that when you hit reverse, it played the ice cream music. Please don't laugh. So here it is, I got all these bags in the back of my trunk. I popped my trunk. People saw it, I closed it down. They said, what is that? I said, man, I'm pushing weight, baby. I'm pushing weight, baby. All it was some stinking grass that was cut. Now you got a bag of dirt. My daughter spent time putting 150 bags of dirt inside of these bags. Wow. So I promise you this, your measure of dirt is not the same in each person's bag. I promise you this, whatever is in your bag is your dirt. So I told you a little bit about my dirt. But there comes a point that you have to deal with your dirt. So Lisa Nichols a month ago was here. Tommy Jones allowed me to be the lead-off speaker at A Glimpse of Greatness. And you know, I got to come out, run the first opening play, spoke, did what I did. She invites me to the campus. Thought that was nice and kind of her. Didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh, she must have thought you were a good speaker. Oh, so I come to the campus, show up on Thursday, put the bags on the back, we're in session, and we're going to work. She does what she does. How many of y'all know you felt like she was all up in your face? I felt the same thing. I was on the last row, but I felt like I was sitting right next to her, and she looked me in the eye and said, hey, buddy, glad you're here. I said, glad to be here too. She didn't say that, but I felt that. Day one, I get picked in my group to go up on the stage and do my thing. I do my thing. The people are clapping, and Lee said, ho, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. That's cute. That was her line. That's cute. For most people, that would be great, Derek. But for you, you're playing scared. You're playing halfway. He said, oh, but you thought you could get away with it because your 69% is like somebody else's 125. What she was saying is, let's get into that dirt. Friday night happened all day, halfway through the night. She starts chiseling some more. Saturday happens, chisel some more. And each day, now I'm sitting on the front row just like y'all. And I'm just sitting there like this. Come on. Because I'm learning. But while I'm learning, this onion is peeling back. Because before speaking right, I was the content king. And people connected to the content, but never connected to the person. I was a mailman speaker. Just throwing out mail. Oh, I like that, Derek. Oh, give me that point. Oh, you need to have the bookends of your life. The first 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes. If you'll do that, there'll be no distraction. Oh, that helped me. Oh, that was great content. But who is this guy? We don't know you. And then on the last day, we get these earth angels. I'm thinking, earth angels? It's an earth angel. I don't need nobody telling me stuff. We get this earth angels and we get people all up in your ear. Okay, you're going to say something. And then, so I say, oh, we're going to deal with our limiting beliefs. But at that point, she's chiseled so much that I'm actually wanting to deal with my limiting belief. And mine was, if they knew all about you, they wouldn't like you. So then you had to reframe the word. And my message to myself was, the best of me is all of me. The best of me is all of me. And I start saying that. But the best of me is all of me. And my wife is right here. I don't cry. But the best of me, and a tear came right here on this left side, is all of me. I just don't really cry. I don't do that. The last time I cried as an old lady was in the dealership and her husband passed away and she was about 82 years old and I just felt bad for her and I started crying with the lady. That's the last time my wife said, you don't cry over the mess you do with me. You don't cry over the stuff you do here, but you're going to cry over this old lady inside the dealership. That was the last time I cried. The best of me is all of me. Oh. And at that moment, a transformation like she talks about started to happen. And the seed realized if it stays out here, the seed will never grow. Huh? But when the seed says it's okay to have some dirt, and so instead of the dirt being what I was trying to hide from you, the dirt was what I said I need to get up in. I came back from speaking right and I start telling people, I'm angry with my father. I come back from speaking right and I tell my wife, what is it that I need to do? And she starts telling me things and she said, are you not going to react? And I did react. And she says, oh my God, something really happened. I said, I know, I met Jesus finally. But it was because this prideful man, what does that mean? I got 30 minutes? 3 minutes. Oh, Jesus. This prideful man, I was just playing, nigga. I just playing. This prideful man realized now what you've been through.
All right.
Okay, I only got 3 minutes. And it's playoff time.
I need 2 volunteers, quick. I mean, you gotta come quick. Come on, jump on this stage, brother. Just jump up here. Okay, there goes my 2. There goes my 2. Right there, come on. Come on, real quick. So that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Actually, y'all get off the stage. Y'all come right here in the middle. Mess up. Hurry up, brother, man. He gonna mess the time up. We gotta close with this illustration. All right, so check this out. Check this out. So we got this 90-day challenge that we help people come up with their one thing. But watch this, watch this, watch this. I need both of you just to bounce the ball and just catch it. No cute stuff. Just bounce it and catch it. Okay. Not so hard. I don't know what you... how about just drop the ball? Oh, drop it. Oh, hold on. Now, unfortunately, one ball had a little bit more air than the other ball. One ball had no air. So one ball hit the ground and didn't come back up. One ball had air and it had enough to come back up. Okay, well, what you saying, sir? What you saying? Okay, I gotta close. What I'm telling you right now is life is going to happen where you're gonna go down. The determining factor is not if you're going down. It's do you have something on the inside of you that will cause you to get back up? What I want to tell you in my close today is simply this, is the reason why coaching works, the reason why these conferences work, is because it is the air that you need to get back up out of whatever you're in. I'm so glad that I didn't stay down when I went down. But I had something on the inside called a dream, called a vision, called my reality, called this is my purpose, and it's called possibility. And I need to look at you and tell you that selfie that you took, the text you sent back to yourself, because of what you've been through, is why you can do what you're getting ready to do. It's not in what you know. It's in what you've been through. There's strength in your struggle. And today, I just stopped by to tell you, assist you to win. We want to help you win. That's my time.